Matthew House is an organization that welcomes and shelters and assists refugee claimants from all over the world. And they have recently secured a new building. It's a really cute little house, and this house is going to be home to 7 to 8 youth refugee claimants. At first glance, the space was kind of cute. From a designer's perspective, it was a little dated, but it didn't look terrible. But as we began taking the cabinets out, we saw that we had many, many more problems than we originally thought. So we had infestations to deal with. There was no insulation, there was plumbing on the exterior wall, so it became apparent on day one that we needed to do a full gut in here in order to do this properly. My colleagues and my friends and my family, all of the trades and suppliers that I deal with all the time, jumped on board, said they would do what they can, but we still had a very, very modest budget of about $8,000. Thankfully, IKEA Canada came on board and donated the entire kitchen, which for us meant that we could now do the renovation properly. I knew that we needed to turn this into a galley, and by eliminating that L shape, I now had enough room to add a dishwasher. And with 6 to 7 teenagers living in this house, a dishwasher was a must. I decided to play around with a very stark urban space. I wanted to have a little bit of fun, plus I was desperate to use IKEA's new Kunstbaka line, which is the very dark anthracite. It's made of recycled plastic, so I really wanted to make sure that that was included in this design. I also used that white Ringholt cabinet, which is the flat slab, glossy cabinet. That really helps with reflecting light, and you'll notice that both cabinets are flat slab, so easy to wipe down. I've also used a very dark, very slick porcelain tile from Sarah Gray. This was donated from them. So I've created a very black and white color palette, and whenever I do that, in order to keep it fresh and not looking too 90s, I break it up by using the countertop from Handstone that is in a light gray. It's kind of breaking up that contrast. So the other elements that I've used in the kitchen, like the rattan light fixture, those warm things up a little bit. I'm not the biggest fan of using things like a fake wood or a fake stone. Instead, I just used this rubber flooring, which is really cool. It's really chic. It's got those little dots for texture. It was okay that the floor was not entirely level and very easy to install. I had a lot of private donations for this project, so my sister donated some money, and the only thing she said to me was, whatever you do, I don't want it to be something functional. I want it to be something fun. So I decided to use this Cole & Sons wallpaper, which really, when you walk into the space, it's the first thing you see. And I always feel like the whole point of design, really, is to have a little bit of fun with life and elevate a bit. It's so incredible to me how quickly so many trades and suppliers jumped on board. People like Snob Stuff and Home Sense donated the accessories to just give it that added layer of design. And without this support, we would not have been able to make this happen. There were certain safety requirements for a group home. One of them was to have an electric stove rather than a gas stove. So IKEA donated this gorgeous range, which happens to be very easy to wipe down, to keep clean as well. I used a lot of open storage around the cooking area, and that is for easy access. Every chef knows that, eliminating another thing to do like opening a cabinet makes the cooking a lot easier. The thing about this home is that there are house parents and then there are the 6 to 7 teenagers living here. So it's really very much creating a family feel. For me, design-wise, the biggest challenge was being able to create a seating area and also increase the storage. So I created a banquette area, which has storage below and above. It also creates this cozy kind of nook, which I have since learned is the hub of the home, that everybody loves to sit there, hunker down, do their homework. They play games on the chalkboard wall behind. You know, sometimes I think about the big glamorous spaces that I'm designing and I love them, I really do, but sometimes you just want to do something that feels a little bit more meaningful. And to be able to create a space that I know is going to be used and appreciated so immediately and so much was so incredibly rewarding.